have to break. The power of God was still there, but there was an act of faith. You know, like I tell you, when you feel your when you pray for a job, you feel your resume. That's an act of faith. When you go and doubting, that's an act of faith. That's when you break this potential to be able to go. When you break it, you break the jar. The power of God is released. God wanted Gideon to conquer the enemy, and God's power was already available. Gideon needed to take action, just like you. You had to go and look for a house. You had to put the application in the bank. You had to do all that stuff. If you didn't do it, the house wasn't going to happen.
Right.
You had to do it. And I know how it feels as a young man and trying to buy a house. You know, us guys sometimes we're a little, they're like, oh, yeah, just buy it. Like, how are we going to pay for it, you know? And that's how at least I think, you know, like, how am I going to pay for this thing? So did we lose our feet? I don't see it here. It's back. So we have to understand that the potential has always been there. Always. Do you know the potential was there before you were born?
Now I do.
Because God said to Jeremiah, before I was conceived, you knew me. So therefore the potential was already there before you were made.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. The potential is always been there for us. I mean, it's like a baby. The egg is in the woman when she's born. She already comes with all these eggs. The egg needs to be touched by the sperm to become a baby.
Right.
But it always has the potential to become a human. And that's why people that want to kill babies and abortion say, what do you think? I mean, obviously an egg is an egg. But once it gets touched by the semen, it becomes a baby. It doesn't become an eggplant or tomato or nothing like that. The potential. Break the potential to move to the next level. See, we're talking about taking up a notch. We were at the convalescent home yesterday, and as soon as I walked in, I saw this big display, like a poster display, and it said something about take it up to 10. I'm like, oh, I like that. Take it up a notch. Big 100 and take it up a notch. You know?
Right.
It's like, man, we're on the right track, man.
Amen.
And if the world's trying to do that, how much more should we do? Much more than them.
Yeah, absolutely.
More than the world. So, what do you think Gideon was thinking when he was told to break this jar? You remember the story about Gideon? And
what do I think that he was thinking?
I mean,
I think he was. Similar to David, how he was told just to grab the stones, and that's all he was going to fight with. You know, similar to how Moses, was told, listen to you have the staff. You use the staff and do, similar to all these men of God across the years. They're like, this is ridiculous. Like, how in the world am I supposed to be able to? But they don't let that, like you said earlier, the fear may knock, but they don't let the fear overcome them. They just, you know what? You call it blind fear. People say, oh, well, it's not blind fear, blind faith. We just, we can't see anything. It's like, well, I don't have to see right at this very second. I've already seen what God can do. Same with Abraham. He's already seen what God can do to rescue them. We've already seen, we've already heard the stories. We've already known what God has done. So why does he have to, he doesn't have to. You and I know, and our producer, we know that he doesn't have to do another thing for us. The power of the Lord basically is what he's saying, So